Donald Trump's chief propagandist, his press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, just snapped during a disastrous press conference when she was asked about Donald Trump traveling to the Middle East and meeting with many of the countries and sovereign wealth funds that he has personal business interest with, who have enriched him to the tune of about $4 billion. Here, play this clip.
You noted he is a successful businessman. Do you know if the president has any plans to meet with any of the folks involved with any of the family businesses over there, or see any of the sites that are going to be
Not to my knowledge, and let me just get to the premise of your question that both of you have raised. I think it's frankly ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service, not just once, but twice. And again, the American public reelected him back to this White House because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This is a president who has actually lost money for being president of the United States. I don't remember these same type of questions being asked of my predecessor about a career politician who was clearly profiting off of this office. That is not what President Trump does, and this White House holds ourselves to the highest of ethical standards.
Oh, yes, Karoline Leavitt, it would be ridiculous for anybody in the room to dare question Donald Trump's motivations. Or we could come with receipts, Karoline, like, I don't know, Donald Trump doing a deal with Qatar for a Trump resort there, Donald Trump doing a deal with Saudi Arabia for a resort in Oman, the Abu Dhabi fund using Donald Trump's crypto for $2 billion worth of purchases. I could go on, but I think we all get the point. Then Karoline Leavitt, Donald Trump's chief propagandist, attacks the Librarian of Congress who Donald Trump unlawfully fired and basically says that she was woke and DEI and that's why she had to go and be fired, even though Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to unilaterally fire the Librarian of Congress. Here, play this clip.
Question, the president fired the Librarian of Congress. Why did he choose to do that?
We felt she did not fit the needs of the American people. There were quite concerning things that she had done at the Library of Congress in the pursuit of DEI and putting inappropriate books in the library for children. And we don't believe that she was serving the interests of the American taxpayer well. So she has been removed from her position, and the president is well within his rights to do that.
And by the way, it should be noted that Dr. Carla Hayden, who's the 14th Librarian of Congress, was Senate confirmed in 2016 during Donald Trump's first administration. She's the first female Librarian of Congress. She's the first African-American Librarian of Congress. And she's the first actual librarian of Congress. But for Donald Trump, anyone who supports education, anybody who supports diversity, that makes you woke and you've got to go. Next up, the Bulwark reporter who's in the Oval Office asks a question about Donald Trump continuing to post about meme coins. And do you think that's a conflict of interest? Here's what Donald Trump's chief propagandist Karoline Leavitt says about that. Let's play the clip.
Thanks for having me, Caroline. The president posted another ad this week for his Trump meme coin. The group that's running that coin is encouraging people to buy in order to win a dinner this month with the president. Why is the president planning to attend a dinner for the top investors in his coin?
Look, the president is abiding by all conflict of interest laws. The president has been incredibly transparent with his own personal financial obligations throughout the years. The president is a successful businessman, and I think, frankly, it's one of the many reasons that people reelected him back to this office.
There are at least some people who are buying this coin who seem to view it as an opportunity to influence the president's views. There was a logistics company this week that said they would buy $20 million in the coin in order to advocate for free trade between the U.S. and Mexico. If buyers are buying for that reason, are they wasting their money?
Look, I can assure you the president acts with only the interests of the American public in mind, putting our country first and doing what's best for our country, full stop. That's his intention, and that's what he's focused on.
Oh, so you just think that's normal, Caroline, that Donald Trump makes posts that if you have the 22 largest crypto wallets filled with the Trump meme coin, you get to personally meet with Donald Trump? You don't find it abnormal that Donald Trump runs pump and dump like schemes? At least that's my opinion of what it appears to be, which, by the way, is what he's doing with our economy as well. We're supposed to normalize United States presidents selling freaking meme coins and access from the Oval Office while y'all were ranting about whatever you were upset about with Hunter Biden. I mean, seriously, that's where we're at with this. Oh, and by the way, just a stat for you on the Trump meme coins. there were only 55 crypto wallets or like people who actually made money from Trump's meme coin, while there was 747,000 who lost money, who got the rug pulled from this Ponzi scheme, perpetual, perennial fraudster presidency. The next question, a reporter asked Karoline Leavitt about the Trump regime dismantling the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Play this clip.
Karoline, yesterday the administration appears to have started dismantling the Consumer Product Safety Commission. This is the federal agency, an independent one that does recalls and is responsible for product safety. Does the administration not believe that it's important, to keep toys and cribs? I mean, you're a young mom off of the product of the market.
It's a federal agency within which branch? It's the executive branch. Who's the head of the executive branch? The President of the United States.
Congress.
He has the right to fire people within the executive branch. It's a pretty simple answer. Francesca.
Well, as we wrote on the MeidasTouch network, dismantling the agency that coordinates recalls. What could possibly go wrong with that? I don't know. Ridiculous. Okay, next. Then we have here, next clip, we have a reporter asking Karoline Leavitt about, so does Donald Trump intend to have a 10% baseline tariff no matter what on the United Kingdom? Because Trump announced some like fake trade deal with the UK. So is there always going to be 10% and then Karoline Leavitt responds, it's going to be 10%, no matter what, every country in the world will get tariff 10%. Is what Donald Trump intends to do. But obviously we know when Trump says he intends to do something, he doesn't really do it. Here, play this clip.
Mean that the 10% baseline is going to still be there at the end when all of the other details are ironed out?
The president is committed to the 10% baseline tariff, not just for the United Kingdom, but for his trade negotiations with all other countries as well.
Permanently, even after the deals are done, like that is going to remain.
The president is determined to continue with that 10% baseline tariff. I just spoke to him about it earlier.
So I'm really looking forward to Mother's Day this year. It's going to be a very special day. It's always a special day, but it's extra special this year because my wife, Sochi, just became a mom to our beautiful baby girl, Jimena, who's 7 months old. And my mom, who just became a grandma, is going to get to spend the day with us as well. And I got Sochi and my mom the best gift, but shh, don't tell them what it is. I'm just going to tell you. I got them an Aura digital picture frame where I was able to load some of the best memories from the past 7 months of my mom's granddaughter and my wife's daughter, Jimena, and all of us together. Normally, these photos would just be on my phone and I wouldn't know what to do with them. But now with this Aura digital picture frame, they get to display it at their house or in their living room or wherever, and they get to, see these photos that I've personally curated for them. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter. It's featured in 495 gift guides from last year. So the next time you need to call your mom, you can also send her a new pic of you from that trip you've been telling her all about right from your phone. Aura has a great Mother's Day deal. For a limited time, listeners of our podcast can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. The promo code is Meidas. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. That's auraframes.com and use that promo code Meidas. Next up, Karoline Leavitt, chief propagandist for the White House, is asked whether Donald Trump intends to, in any way, what are these conversations with China going to be like? Donald Trump randomly posted, I like 80%. Remember, Donald Trump said, I'd like the number 80% for tariffs with China. I mean, as Donald Trump toys with and tries to manipulate the market, although he didn't do a great job manipulating the market on Friday, although before he did, I just think that people are like, what's really going on here? Is there going to be a deal that's going to happen with China? And by a deal, basically, you as the arsonist putting someone out your fire. And just watch what's said right here by chief propagandist Karoline Leavitt. Let's play this clip.
Thanks, Caroline. The president has been pretty firm on keeping these 145% tariffs in place on Chinese imports. Today, via Truth Social, he said that he'd be possibly open to lowering those to 80%. Why the change, and how did the president land on 80?
The president still remains with his position that he is not going to unilaterally bring down tariffs on China. We need to see concessions from them as well. And again, that's part of the reason that Secretary Bessent is going to talk to his Chinese counterparts this weekend to start those discussions in person. As for the 80% number, that was a number the president threw out there, and we'll see what happens this weekend. And always in the effort of transparency, I'm sure you'll hear directly from the Treasury Secretary or the president after those negotiations conclude.
So again, leaders need to speak with clarity. Leaders need to speak with precision, right? What are y'all even talking about here? The way they toy with people's lives. You know, small businesses are getting medium-sized, all businesses, but especially those that can't just call up the White House and do quid pro quos for favors are getting screwed. So when you see stuff like this and you don't provide clarity or what the plan is, Donald Trump just sends a post in the morning and it's like, oh, that's where we're going this time. It's absurd, it's dangerous, and it has real world ramifications. Next up, Karoline Leavitt is asked a question about the Pope, which she doesn't want to answer, apparently. Here, let's play this clip.
One other question. Yesterday, we saw the news of the new Pope. Before Pope Leo became Pope Leo, there were some critical comments that he made about President Trump and about Vice President Vance on his X account. Does the White House have any reaction to those comments?
The president made his reaction to Pope Leo's announcement yesterday very clear. He is very proud to have an American Pope. I think it was a surprise to everyone. I saw the news media was surprised to report on that yesterday, but it's a great thing for the United States of America and for the world, and we are praying for him.
And isn't it just so interesting, too, that now all the MAGAs, despise this Pope? Robert Prevost, who was Cardinal Robert Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, because he's spoken positively about migrants. And he said that we need to have, that there needed to be unity with the Black community after the murder of George Floyd, that Pope Leo XIV talked about, encouraging vaccine use. And now for MAGAs, that's, repugnant. How dare you? How dare you do those things? Remember what I shared with you as well, though, that there was that bishop in Donald Trump's religious advisory board. And he was previously quoted as saying that the Vatican will never name an American pope so long as America is leading the world in everything else, because the Vatican doesn't want there to be an American religious leader while America is the leader in all other things. But one way to determine if America is in decline, this is what Trump's own advisor said, months back, was if a American pope was selected, the Vatican would be sending the signal that America's lost its power in other areas. And could that have been the message that was being sent there as well? But Pope Leo XIV seems actually like an overall, whether you're religious or not, just like a good person, like a good human being. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.